My name is Matthew, and today I get the pleasure of showing you around one of my favourite super estates. This is a 2022 on a 72 registration Audi RS6 Avant. It's the Vorsprung version of this car, which means it is the top of the range version. You get absolutely everything as standard, except there is one very big standout feature on this car, which isn't standard, and we will talk about that when we walk around the car itself. It's a two-owner car. It's covered 19,000 miles with a full Audi main dealer service history, and it benefits from the balance of its Audi manufacturer's warranty till later into 2025. So let's get into the car. Let's start talking about the features on board. There's a lot to get through because it's a Vorsprung, so we'll try and make it as succinct as possible for you. The colour, this is Mythos Black Metallic. It's a really deep metallic black. It's fantastic on an RS6. And because it's a Vorsprung, you get all of the accents and all of the grills finished in gloss black as well. So that includes the famous 4 Audi rings in the centre of this big honeycomb grille. All of those lower grills as well, all also finished in gloss black. I'm sitting at the front of the car because there's some important features to talk about. We've got the 2 front radars for the adaptive cruise control and all of the Audi pre-sense systems that is built into this car. I've got the forward-facing part of the 3D surround camera system fitted to this car. That's also on the bottom of the 4 rings there. And these lovely little integrated front park distance control sensors. You can barely notice that they're in there, and that's exactly what you want from a design point of view. Looking at the headlights themselves, we've got Audi's LED matrix light system. They've got this really fancy daytime running light with these individual vertical strakes across the light. They do like a little light show when you switch the car on and off. Audi, again, pioneering when it comes to daytime running lights and matrix lights themselves. They're a fully adaptive beam, super, super slick at night. And then coming around the side, we've got Audi's 22-inch RS alloy wheels. They are an absurdly big Audi sport wheel, but that is what the new RS6s are all about. They're all about presence, and when you talk about presence, nothing says it more than a massive set of alloy wheels. We've got the Audi Sport logo etched into the wheel itself there, and they're almost a satin grey metallic finish on the inserts, and they're high polished on the fascias, and the massive stopping power of the big RS brake discs behind there. You've got black painted calipers with the RS logo on them as well. And coming down the passenger side, again, all about presence, and I love the look of this car, but what I'm about to show you is my favorite thing, and it's why I like this particular RS6 more than any other one we've had in stock. So, keyless entry, because it's got comfort access, or the Audi comfort and sound package. So you just put your hand behind the door handle, pull the door handle and open the door, but go have a look inside. This car is fitted with Audi's extended leather package, which means you get leather on the tops of the doors, the tops of the dashboard, all through the back of the car, which every other Vorsprung that I have seen to date that hasn't got the extended leather package is not fitted with. And those seats are finished in Cognac. And I think when it comes to a colour scheme, a classy RS6 colour scheme, when the majority of the market is grey and black or black and black, I think this is my favourite Audi RS6 colour scheme combination, especially with the open pore sort of dark ash wood trims as well. I think the whole thing just works exquisitely. We've got Audi's RS drop lights, the puddle lamps. They're in all 4 doors. And a nice touch, being a Vorsprung, we have soft close doors, so if I just touch the door shut there, the door will pull itself in. We've got privacy glass to the rear 3/4 and an enormous opening glass panoramic roof. And go have a look in the back of the car. We've got those drop lamps again. 4-zone climate control with rear heated seats, and that's all controlled via a little electronic panel that switches on between the 2 rear seats, but obviously that needs the car to turn on to be activated. And then that glass panoramic roof, an amazing feature for a rear passenger, letting a lot of light into these cabins. And I just want to show you the leather on the tops of these doors. And this is the key. So if you haven't noticed, go back and look at the UK market for these. The majority of RS6s have a crinkled sort of man-made plastic on the tops of all the doors and the dashboard, not on this car. And then come around the back, all Audi RS sort of body language still present on an RS6. We've got this amazing sort of separating bar across the middle belt line of the car that runs through the rear lights and across the boot lid. And then again, those iconic now Audi RS oval rear exhaust. This car does have the sports exhaust system, the RS dynamic sports exhaust system fitted to it. Again, being a Vorsprung, all of that is standard. Electric tailgate, as you would imagine, and a really smart electric sort of deployable or removable parcel shelf that will retract and obviously come back down again when I close the boot. And a really nice and now famous RS6 feature. We've got these amazing load rails down the side of the car. So even though you've got this huge boot, you also have lots of configurability to it. So if I open the boot floor and show you underneath, you've got a nice load net here, and you've got 4 little hooks that slide into these rails, which allows you to tether things down to the boot if you're carrying things that you might think would move around in the boot and cause problems while on the move. And these lovely extra handles for practicality allow you to fold those middle row seats from the back of the car without having to jump inside. And if I press the, there you are, if I press the boot button, tailgate will come back down. We've got the reverse camera on the back of the tailgate, and I love the gloss black theme throughout this car, the badges everywhere, all the decals, everything on the car is all gloss black on the exterior of it, apart from, interestingly, the satin black roof rails, which again, very nicely break the colorway up. So I'm going to jump in the car now. I'm going to run you through some of the other features of a Vorsprung and talk to you more about this amazing interior. If I jump in, what I'm going to do is I'm going to fire up the twin turbo 4-litre V8, and I'm just going to show you something. If you want to look through the mirror, the window, I beg your pardon, this little square box on the side of the mirror that has just lit up, perfect timing. That is blind spot monitoring, and that is how Volkswagen Audi do it. It's a really clever system. It's a big bright light. You don't miss it when something is in your blind spot on the motorway. Very, very smart indeed. And again, let's talk about this extended leather. All across the tops of the door cards here, and then all across the top of the dashboard inside the car. And it just makes the cabin of these cars, not that they're a horrible place to sit, but it just makes it that much nicer. So we work our way back to the door card. Memory settings for the driver's seat. We've got all electric windows, some really nice features which allows you to override the child lock for the rear 2 doors via a control panel on the driver's door, electric heated, anti-dazzle and folding mirrors, a really nice boot release for that power tailgate to allow you to do it from the inside of the car itself. And of course, no big Audi is any good without its massive stereo. It's a Bang & Olufsen surround sound stereo, and just before we move into the cabin, illuminated RS6 tread plates. Coming inside, and I told you there's a lot to talk about. An electric steering column. Again, because it's a Vorsprung, absolutely everything is standard. Fully electrically adjustable. And this multi-function steering wheel is heated as well. I'll show you how that works. It's a really wonderful wheel. It's fully perforated all the way round. On the right-hand side, we've got all our multimedia controls. We also have this RS button, which is a shortcut button, which allows you to put the car into 2 configurable RS driving modes to adjust the suspension, the exhaust, the steering, things like that. And you can have it set up exactly as you want it without having to go through all of the computers. You just have to do it through the touch of the button on the steering wheel there. We've got on the left-hand side all the controls for Audi's virtual cockpit, which is ahead of me. My favorite all-time virtual cockpit. It's currently set, powered by Google Maps, it's currently set to a satellite mode, so you can see just how amazing it is in satellite configuration. You can adjust this cockpit, so you can have the dials as large, the dials as small. You can also change the setup to have an RS dial setup with more of a racing style rev counter, and then all the modes in between allows you to connect through all of the onboard computers. You can see everything that you ever need to see. I don't know if the camera can see it, but I've also got a heads-up display, quite a big one in this particular car. And if you can pick up on it, you'll see that there's a 30-mile-an-hour sign in there. That's because this car has road sign recognition fitted to it as well. And then just have a look down here, adaptive cruise control on that stalk just behind the steering wheel there as well. Moving into the cockpit itself, we've got a twin screen setup. This is commonplace in all modern Audis now. It's a really fantastic system. If I come away from Audi's own navigation system and go to phone apps, we have got, there are going to be connected devices in here, but we have got Apple CarPlay and Android Auto. It is all completely wireless in this specific car. And if I go into the car itself, here's where we can configure lots and lots of settings. So the RS monitor allows you to see all of the systems, so oil temperature, brake temperature, so on and so forth, all through there, and you can configure that drive select this way. And like I said to you earlier, we've got these RS modes on the right-hand side of the screen. You can go in there and adjust the drive system, the suspension, the steering, and the engine sound, and even the quattro and sport differential. You can change all of that setup, save it to the RS modes, and you've got that as 1 click on the steering wheel and 2 clicks on the steering wheel. Really, really straightforward, super, super smart for one of these cars. Loads of drive assist settings. So if I go into here, you'll see all of the emergency assists on one of these cars, intersection assist, side assist, so on and so forth, full of features, along with the adaptive cruise control. And if I pop the car into reverse, there is your surround camera system with top view. The right-hand door is open at the moment, so when that door is shut, this picture stitches itself together. And if I press the 3D button, you can see just how amazing this system is. And if I remember correctly, you can scroll yourself around this augmented reality view of the car, just to give yourself a real nice idea if you're parking near a curb or around some sort of cone or something like that, you know, an obstacle. It gives you a real idea of space for where the car is. And if I put it back into park, we're going to go down to the second screen below it. I've got loads of settings here. So first and foremost, you can adjust the heads-up display. That has all of its own adjustability via that button there. And then you have another button on the center screen which does populate the top screen. That is the heated steering wheel. We have fragranced air conditioning, so you can turn a fragrance smell on to pump fragrance through the car, through the air conditioning system. An ionizer to clean and sanitize the air, which you can turn on and off through the aircon as well. And then coming down to the controls below, dual zone climate control, heated and ventilated seats for driver and passenger. Really fantastic system. And then all your buttons down here, you've got a shortcut to the cameras as discussed previously, park assist, so full park assist via this button here, and then normal features you'd imagine in a big RS estate car. 2 cup holders, a really handy key slot so you don't have to throw your keys in a cup holder and take up cup holder space. Massive cubby hole underneath here with 2 USB-C ports in this 72 plate car. They're all upgraded to USB-C ports. And the car is full of configurable ambient lighting. You probably can't pick it up, but it runs through the gear tunnel, across the dashboard, under all of the sections on the doors. It's really, really just a stunning place to sit at night. And actually, it's currently configured to like a deep orange, which goes really nicely with the Cognac at night, a really classy interior. And the last thing I'll do, just before I jump out and summarize this car for you, is open that panoramic roof, just to give you an idea of what the car looks like with the roof open. And I'll just jump out and very quickly summarize a very, very special RS6 Avant. And I do think that these cars look really cool with the roof open. It's one of those cars where the panoramic roof looks like it was made to be a part of the car, not an add-on feature. But like I said at the beginning, 19,000 miles, RS6 Avant Vorsprung, 72 registration car, and with that incredible color scheme, that Cognac interior, it's just my favorite looking RS6 that we've had. My name is Matthew. I hope this video has helped. Thanks for watching.